As a kid, you use your imagination without ever asking why you should use it or how to use it. And you damn sure didn't stop to wonder if it was a silly thing to do. You just did it, and that was a higher level of freedom that you're tapping back into with my method. As an adult, most people use their imagination only to think about all of the bad things that can happen with the government, with the economy, with the relationships that they have, with the people that they trust most in their lives. And if you fall into that boat, it's your responsibility to flip it over. You see, your childhood is where those memories live, and the ones that you're still walking around with till this day without realizing it, all of them. But the weight of those memories isn't really the memory itself. It's the story of that memory. It's the quickest conclusion you drew about your identity just from experiencing a negative event. Something happened to you when you were young, and your mind did what every young mind tends to do, what it's designed to do. It made up a story about why it happened to you in order to protect you. Follow me closely here. Follow along. Your mind doesn't interpret what happened, but instead why it happened to you. The subconscious is still a huge mystery to most researchers, but we can say this. It remembers stories a lot more vividly than it remembers every single detail within that story. Think about your favorite movie for a moment. Just stop and think about it. Now, think about the first line of that movie. Nothing? How about the last line before the credits roll? Nothing? Maybe you can't remember that. But you can surely tell me what that movie was all about, now can't you? That's how the subconscious naturally works, though. It may not remember the event accurately, but it does remember the story it took from experiencing it. Now, I do have a little bit of bad news, because the downside of that is that your mind never checked if the story was actually true. When this works for the positive, we rejoice, we celebrate. But when it works for the unfavorable, that's when you start to hit a ceiling in your money, in your love life, and even in your health. The ego only cares about what's getting you through it and never experiencing that feeling ever again or anything like it. Because, again, that's what it's designed to do. It's a survival program. It's a survival mechanism running in the background, doing its job the only way it can be done. Let me show you how powerful your imagination can be when it runs wild, when it's untamed. Right now, as a grown adult, you may have a goal that you want to achieve, and there's a belief that's clogging up the lane to get to it. A story tied to a memory that's still being interpreted by a 7-year-old. The 7-year-old version of you. That kid version of you created a story from their imagination decades ago to explain why something happened or didn't happen to you. And your identity has a funny way of looking at your life 20, 30, 40 years later through those same eyes. Imagine trusting a story written by a version of you who probably couldn't even tie their shoes yet.